The Harlem Renaissance, a cultural resurgence and catalyst for change. Introduction. The Harlem Renaissance, a cultural, social, and artistic movement that emerged in the early 20th century, remains a transformative period in American history. Centered in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City, this movement saw the flourishing of African American creativity and expression, challenging racial stereotypes and contributing to the broader evolution of American culture. This video explores the profound cultural impact of the Harlem Renaissance on the United States, examining its key contributors, artistic achievements, and lasting legacy. Cultural flourishing and artistic expression. Artistic explosion. The Harlem Renaissance, spanning the 1920s and 1930s, witnessed an explosion of artistic expression across various mediums. Literature, music, visual arts, and performing arts flourished, creating a vibrant cultural atmosphere. Literary Renaissance. Renowned writers such as Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, Claude McKay, and Jean Toomer played pivotal roles in the literary Renaissance. Their works explored themes of racial identity, social injustice, and the complexities of the African American experience. Musical innovations. The Harlem Renaissance saw the birth of jazz as a major cultural force. Legendary musicians like Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, and Bessie Smith contributed to the development of jazz, influencing American music for decades to come. Visual arts and performing arts. Visual artists such as Aaron Douglas and Jacob Lawrence, along with performers like Josephine Baker, contributed to a renaissance in visual arts and performing arts. The visual aesthetic of the movement often drew inspiration from African art and traditions. Challenging racial stereotypes. Breaking stereotypes in literature. Harlem Renaissance writers challenged prevailing racial stereotypes by presenting complex and authentic portrayals of African American life. They sought to redefine how African Americans were perceived in mainstream American society. Empowering visual representations. Visual artists sought to empower African Americans by presenting positive and dignified representations. The art of Aaron Douglas, for example, often depicted strong and heroic figures, challenging racist imagery prevalent in the mainstream. Affirmation of identity. The Harlem Renaissance played a crucial role in affirming a positive racial and cultural identity for African Americans. It fostered a sense of pride in one's heritage and contributed to the broader civil rights movement. Cultural legacy and influence. Impact on American literature. The Harlem Renaissance laid the foundation for the modern African American literary tradition. The works of writers like Langston Hughes and Zora Neale Hurston continue to be studied and celebrated for their literary merit and cultural significance. Jazz as a global phenomenon. The jazz music born during the Harlem Renaissance became a global phenomenon, influencing diverse musical genres and shaping the evolution of popular music in the 20th century. Legacy in visual arts. The visual arts of the Harlem Renaissance, with its fusion of African and modernist influences, continues to inspire contemporary artists. The cultural legacy of this period is evident in the ongoing exploration of identity and heritage in visual art. Integration of African American culture. The Harlem Renaissance played a pivotal role in integrating African American culture into the broader American cultural landscape. It challenged the notion of a monolithic American identity, contributing to a more inclusive understanding of the nation's diverse heritage. Cultural catalyst for the civil rights movement. The cultural and intellectual ferment of the Harlem Renaissance laid the groundwork for the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. The Renaissance served as a cultural catalyst, fostering a sense of empowerment and agency among African Americans. Conclusion. The Harlem Renaissance, a beacon of creativity and resilience, stands as a testament to the power of cultural expression to challenge societal norms and reshape the national narrative. Its impact reverberates through American literature, music, visual arts, and the broader cultural landscape, leaving an enduring legacy of artistic innovation and social progress. The Harlem Renaissance not only elevated the voices of African American artists but also contributed to a broader redefinition of American identity, fostering a more inclusive and dynamic cultural heritage.